Hi all, right back with more Labyrinth, playing the extended campaign, so this is part 11. So just come pretty much straight back there, got a little bit of copying across now, part 10. So I haven't had a response on this. I think it was probably right to randomise between the two, so that's the one I ran. We'll see. Maybe if somebody tells me I could catch it and get it moved into Iraq, but the fact that it just says Iraq or Iran, how do you decide? There should be some kind of priority or something. Anyway, okay, let's move on, Graham. Something else was on my mind there. No, okay. Right, they've got one card left. We've got three. Yeah. So what we're going to do? Well, this is unplayable. If you as player remove a cell from a sheer mixed country within 3 countries of leather, yeah, I was hoping that I could have targeted that. Well, actually, that could take out the cell in Iran now, actually. Oh, Iran's not a Shia mix, though. Or, actually, it's not, is it? It's got a different symbol, the red, isn't it? Well, it tells you on the map, Grant. Yeah, see, Shia mix is that, non-Muslim, and Sunni. And then Iran is special case, so that's probably not targetable anyway. Hezbollah. Yeah, so it's not really. I'd probably be better using that for the operations, I think. Like I say, if I could have targeted that cell in Afghanistan, I would jump at that. But it's 4 away, going by the lines, and I'm pretty sure that's right. Right, so we've got a week. We can play a week without any worry for 3 ops. Pakistan, we got to ally. Afghanistan is our ally. Should we try? Yeah, because we would do a disrupt in there. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. War ideas in Afghanistan, I think, with weak. So I think I'm playing weak, and like we say, play if enhanced measures, renditions, or wiretapping is in the event box. It's not. Okay, so it says flip one such marker blocking event, roll US posture, and then prestige shift an ally to neutral. Right, I'm not going to look at that. I guess this is maybe some stuff in the event table about that. But anyway, I'm using it for the 3 ops. So that's our first card play, and it's not going to trigger the event. And I think I'm going to do a War of Ideas here. So we've got regime change, we've got an aid marker. Yeah, that was it. I was thinking about if I got that to good, I could then get an extra +1 there. But our prestige is still up very high, so we're going to get a +3 to this roll anyway. But kick myself if I end up getting a 1 though on the dice. I mean, I don't know, making Pakistan good. See, the thing is, it makes it harder for them to do stuff as well, because that takes it down to a 1 that they've got to roll, doesn't it? Well, we've got 2 cards. I think I'm going to stick with Afghanistan, and after realising now that this is a way to work on trying to get rid of these regime change, and I think once I get the regime change out of the way, I want to say I get my troops back. Maybe, I think that's maybe what happens. Or I can access my troops without. I don't need to leave them there. So War of Ideas. So this time we're going to improve governance, hopefully. Neutral or ally Muslim. Well, it's an ally. It's a poor ally, so that's why it's costing us 3 ops points, which we've got. Yeah, you see, only a day goes by and I forget. We need 5 more troops and cells, so the cell's there. We need to get rid of that cell first, Grant, before we can do anything about that. That's wrong. Well, we did take a hit on our prestige. Not quite sure where that came from, but so doing a disrupt does actually boost our prestige by 1. But disrupting this sale just flips it to active. That's why I would have loved to have been in range to be able to use that, just to remove the sale. Well, you're not, Grant, so so that means I'm not going to be able to take that sale out, because I've not got 2 3-cost cards. Ooh. Well, I suppose I should just do it. Yeah, let's just do it. Right, so I'm still playing the leak, and I'm going to disrupt in Afghanistan. They've got 1 card to come here, and they get to start the next turn as well, so... Okay, so I'm going to disrupt. Needs to be a non-Muslim country, not Iran. Oh, okay, so you can't disrupt in Iran. Okay. Well, let's hope I've got that right. Then I don't know. I don't think that cell's going to be able to do much. Maybe travel, I mean, it could travel. It's adjacent to all 3 of the countries, so yeah. Okay, it needs to be an ally or country with at least 2 troops. Well, it's both an ally and we've got troops, and the troops bit is going to give us the prestige. So it affects 1 cell. However, if we've got 2+ troops, it affects 2 cells, and we add +1 prestige. So I'm going to do that, because we need to get rid of that. We're going to have the 5 troops. I mean, hold on. You could have deployed more troops, but again, I would need to play a 3-cost card to deploy the troops. I mean, I'd only need 1 more troop to be 5 greater than cells. But it's... yeah, I'm better trying to take the cell out, I think. Right, I'm going to carry on doing what I'm doing. So we're going to disrupt this, flipping it to active. And because we've got troops there, we're going to gain 1 prestige. This feels sort of rubbish, that. Now, if there was 2 cells, I would have felt much better about flipping 2 of them. But just having 1 is kind of feels like you're not getting your money's worth. So that was disrupt. I've added 1 prestige. Affected cells go active, or if already active are removed. If no cells, remove cadre. If last cell removed, place cadre. Yeah. Okay. Right, and then, well, my second card, I think I'm going to be Hezbollah. Well, actually, you couldn't remove that, knowing that we can't disrupt in Iran. There's nothing to say. Oh, no, it's not a Shia mixed country, though. That's what we spoke about, Grant. Okay, right, well, I can't do that. So, playing Hezbollah for the event right now is only going to allow me to take a cell out of Iraq, which feels sort of rubbish. So, well, how about having a go at War of Ideas in Pakistan, then? Yeah, it's better that, because it's adjacent to Afghanistan, which is, I think, where I'm going to work on. Yeah, because I've more chance of doing War of Ideas here, because there's less cells. I'm struggling here, aren't I? So, I'm going to play Hezbollah for the ops points, so none of that triggers. And... well, hopefully we've got this right. In Pakistan, it's fair 2, and Hezbollah was a ops point of 2. So War of Ideas, we're going to hopefully improve governance. Oh, you're going to get a -1 for this, though, aren't you? So, neutral ally Muslim. Yeah, it's a ally Muslim country. So, okay. If success, shift neutral to ally or improve allies' governance by 1 level. If to good, remove all regime change, disease, regime, and aid markers. If failure by 1 dip, place an aid marker if none already there. We've got an aid marker there. Remove all regime change, disease, regime, and aid markers. Right, okay, so, but going to the table here, we need a 5 or a 6. Modifiers attempting to shift to good, so we're going to get a -1 because we're attempting to shift to good. That the penalty there is 0. Yeah, and this is another reason for trying to do these, because that penalty is going to, I'm pretty sure it's not long before that's going to be moving into the, we're going to get a penalty there. US Prestige, however, we've got it up at very high, so we got +2 there, so that's a net of +1. And each aid marker, we've got 1 there, so that's a +1. So, and then adjacent good ally, maximum of +1, no. So it's +2 in total, isn't it? We're getting +3 to -1. So +2, we need a 5 or a 6, so we need a 3, don't we? So yeah, let's do it. Come on, 3 or better. Yes, a big 6, look at that. Right, so we've got our first good governance. So yeah, success. We shift neutral to ally or improve allies' governance by 1 level. If to good, which we're going to do. So this flips to good. If to good, we remove all regime change, disease regime, and aid markers. So it's just the aid marker that's going away. Where does that go? Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, that's it, apart from we went from fair to good, which doesn't change that, but we now have 2 good resources. So we can move that one up. I'll put under that because it's more likely that might change. So we've got 2 good resources. Yeah, and I was just looking back on part 1 of my video. I hadn't watched that one back. It was just the introduction and that, and I was watching it today a bit. And I'm going over the win conditions. And I know I was still feeling slightly confused because, I mean, it does say that these are the win conditions. It says that you have to follow these win conditions, doesn't it? For the soul game, if I'm looking at Awakening Rules, yeah, this is what I found a little strange. I think this was what confused me. So for the Jihadist bot, this is Awakening Rules. For the Jihadist bot, it says how to win. Use the victory conditions of a 1-player game, 9.1, right? But just turn on the page before we go to 9.1. If you're playing, if it's a US bot that you're playing, you win by use the victory conditions of a 2-player game, 2.0. So 9.1 is what we are following. And 9.1 is this, how to win. And it doesn't give you the other conditions in Rule 2. You know, this one modifies 2.1. So you don't need to be adjacent. They need 6 or more. And by the way, I was thinking 6 or more resources. They were at 3 resources when they had Islamist rule in Iraq. Which all they needed was maybe like Saudi Arabia. And then there's those 6 Islamists. I mean, it's quite hard to get still, but it was closer than I think, you know. But however, I'm not. Well, that is part of the rule to win. And remember, they don't have to be adjacent, because that in the 2-player game you do have to have that. But because of solo, I think it's a bit much. So just need 6 more resources, 6 or more resources, regardless of adjacency. And the elimination of the last cell does not cause a US win. Fair enough. That must have been a bit easy for the US to be able to do. And then that's it. So there's not, I mean, again, I'll leave this question here. I might have to go and ask the question, I think. So if while playing the game as myself. And this is how to win if you're playing with a US bot or you're playing a 2-player game. And let's just say you are the, well, if you're playing as a US bot, your victory conditions are here, aren't you? You're the jihadist player, so these would all apply. And and for the US bot, these would all apply. So in actual fact, no jihadist cells in any countries on the map would win for the US bot. But does that mean that me playing with a jihadist bot right now and playing as a US player, that if I get 12 resources at good or 15 in Muslim countries, 12 resources are good, or at least 15 of the 18 Muslim countries have fair or good governance. If I get any of the two conditions while playing the game, then does that mean I don't win? That's the bit I'm a little unclear of. Yeah, it does say that if they get 6 resources, it could be that that's right. It means that I've got no way of winning the game, like outright. Not each side can win. That's an instant win. It means I can't instantly win if I'm not allowed these conditions. And it doesn't really make it clear to me that I'm allowed to use these victory conditions. So yeah, if I don't get around to asking the question, but I think I might now when I think about it. If I don't and somebody knows, then please chime in and let me know. Okay, so we've got that. We've got 2 good resources. If we do need 12, it's got it there on the map as well. If you see, it highlights the fact good resources US win. 3 deck. What's that say? 3 deck solo. See, that's saying solo. 3 deck solo, minimum good for US win. Yeah, I think you must. I think there's no instant win condition for you then. There is an instant win condition for the bot, but there's not for because they're if you look at the bot one, it doesn't talk about solo. It just says Islamic resources 2. Well, it's got 2 adjacent jihadists win, but the adjacent bit is taken away in the solo game. Yeah, I think that must be the case. So they can only they can instantly win. We're going to have to go 3 decks and get 12 good resources. I think that's the only way of us winning. Oh well, okay. Right, I've played my 2 cards, haven't I? Right, let's move these 2 away. These were both played for ops, so just discarded. We have a good country though on the board, Pakistan. And okay, so they've got 1 more card to play in, so have we, which I don't think we're going to play it again. Whereas, well, if see if it had been a 3 cast cost, like in my Magic of the Gathering again. See if it had been a 3 ops card, I might have seriously considered that to get that sell out of there. Then again, you're still leaving a cadre there. Anyway, they've got a card to come first, so we might. Well, they've only got 1 cell on the track at the moment. Right, anyway, let's see what their last card is. And assuming if you just got 1 card left, you just play that card and that's you. Yeah, must be. Mind, they've still got 2 ops, 2 reserves, and it doesn't remove their reserves after a turn, whereas it would us. So it's more than likely. Right, Fata. Okay. We heard about this earlier. So it's a 3 ops, jihadist card. Pakistan's tribal areas host jihadists. Place a cell in Pakistan. Well, it can do that. There is 1 left on the track. No disrupt operations there unless regime change. Well, I'm glad Benazir Bhutto's there. Because I want to say we got rid of Pakistani offensive, and I remember that's where it came up, this Fatah. And we're not being familiar with all the events, like some of you might be, would have maybe thought, right, I need to keep hold of that Pakistani offensive maybe. So no disrupt operations there unless regime change. Well, it's not regime change. It blocks US bin Laden and Zawahiri. I think we've seen that one as well. And it's removed by Pakistan offensive. I want to say they two have went away. Bin Laden's, I don't think we've seen that. So it means we can't disrupt there. That could get rough if we come across Bhutto shot. Anyway, this can be played, so they're going to play it. Let's find out some information on it. Card 80. Okay, there we are. That was there, I think. Stretching across. So card 80, Fatah, 2002 to 2009. With US and Allied forces hunting them down in Afghanistan, Al-Qaeda and Taliban remnants crossed the mountainous Pakistani border into that country's federally administered tribal areas. That's what Fatah is, isn't it? And Northwest Frontier Province. The region's cross-border tribal ties, traditions of freedom from central government interference, and established networks for support of operations in Afghanistan made the Fatah and NWFP enduring sanctuaries for Taliban insurgency and Al-Qaeda training and plotting. Okay, so I'm going to play that. So they're not going to be using the reserves, but they'll carry over at the next turn. So place a cell in Pakistan, no disrupt, and we'll just need to put the marker there. Now this is different. I went and replied to what was the name? Was it Zod? Well, I'd replied to my comment in BGG, basically sort of saying that I do think it's a bit, literally the rules sort of say one thing, but I think it's silly to consider it that way, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Unless the designer or somebody with some authority comes along and say, no, you should bash on putting cells there, that's what it says, blah, 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 then I think I'm going to treat this as like not a jihad available country for any condition that says is jihad possible or best jihad modifiers or whatever, then I'm not going to consider this while this is here. If Bhutto becomes shot, if the Bhutto shot event occurs, then that changes things up a bit, right? But this is different. This just says place a cell in Pakistan, so that's a different thing. So we're going to grab the last cell of the track and place it in Pakistan, right? And no disrupt operations there unless regime change. So there's a marker. I'm guessing it's going to say no disrupt. Fatah. I'm not finding it. There it is. Right, so if that's focusing on or not, I can never really see that well. It's Fatah, it says no disrupt unless RC, so no disrupt unless regime change. Is there not a wee box for that? No. You know what? I'm putting it in the country, I think. Yeah, it's a bit strange it doesn't have a box because it's deliberately targeting that country, isn't it? But then so's Benazir Bhutto, innit? I've just put that in the country. Yeah, place a cell in Pakistan. No disrupt operations there unless regime change. Blocks US bin Laden and Zawahiri removed by Pakistani offensive. Yeah, my guess is it's not going to get removed. So, kind of hoping I get the Bhutto shot card, because if that comes out of there, then Pakistan's not going to be good for long, I don't think. Okay, that is the Jihadist Bot's final card play. So that goes away discarded. Yeah, it's just discarded. It just says mark. It doesn't say remove the card. So you could play that again? Ah, I suppose so. So if that was removed, because most of them with things like that say mark and remove, that one just says mark. So, I mean, we're not shuffling the deck back in again, but if you were, this card could come back up and you could play it again. Place another settle in Pakistan and blah blah blah. I don't know, I mean, if you already had Fatah, that seems a bit strange, doesn't it? If you already had Fatah in play, could you still play that card? Or should this be removed, this card, maybe? Well, it's not going to affect us in this game anyway. Right, back to us, because I'd like to just get I think I've maybe got half an hour left in me. Maybe. We'll see. I might get a call. Right, that's our last card. We're going to keep it. I'm just going to keep it again. Like I say, there's nothing amazing I could do it anyway. Right, so end of turn. Well, let's try and quickly run through this. I'm going to zoom in on that box again. Right, -1 to funding. We don't seem to be getting very far with their funding. Although there are no sales up here now. So that's going to change what they do. The fact that there's no sales. -1 prestige if... Can I see it in the thing? If any country under Islamist rule. Right, there's not. Okay. And then +1 prestige if the net world posture is 3... I can't quite read all that. But if it's 3... and we are the same hard or soft, I would imagine, same posture, isn't it? Then we would get a +1 to our prestige. We're not getting that. However, prestige is at 12, anyway, it's at max. Remove lapsing events is none. Reserves to 0. Right, well, our reserves would go to 0, but the bot doesn't. And I mean, I've gave them the 2 that were I felt like I had to do. Deal new hands, and then regime change to tan. Both the regime change markers are there are tan already. So we're going to deal new hands. They're getting 9, we're getting 8. And yeah, that'll be that. Right, so I'll get a bunch of cards. Are we getting through the deck yet? Not really. Right, so 9 to them, 8 to us. 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, and then 9 to them. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we must be over halfway through it now. Only just though. Right, so I'll set my cards aside. There's their 9, and we'll see. We might only get time for a couple of their cards, because I've got to look through mine and work out what I might want to do. So, right, okay, let's go. So first you had this card. Right, remember the reserves bit, Grant. Right, homegrown. That's a jihadist card. So I probably want to try and play that one. Right, well, pretty simple this one, isn't it? Homegrown, jihad roots among Britons. Place a sale in the United Kingdom. And yeah, that's that. 66. Right, way over. Would be way over. Quite a bit of text as well. Where's that? Here. Yeah, I'm trying to get myself. Oh, hang on. Right, sorry, I got called away there. So homegrown. 2004 to question mark. British-born converted Muslim Richard Reed in late 2001 attempted on behalf of Al-Qaeda to destroy a US airliner with a bomb hidden in his shoe. By 2004, British investigations into domestic Islamic terrorist activity were sharply on the rise. The breakup of an alleged Islamist cell in Luton, Bedfordshire, In August 2004, a devastating attack on London mass transit in July 2005 by British Muslims and subsequent failed attacks and arrests in the UK demonstrated the reality of the domestic terror threat. Whether because of the UK's close association with the US war on terror and prominence in operations in Iraq or Afghanistan, or other catalysts to be found in British society, the UK had become a beachhead for jihadism in Europe. So this is a playable card. It's nice and simple, but probably not very good for us. Yeah, hold on. No, United States didn't get it. I'm just thinking, because we're going to have to test the UK, aren't we? I'm pretty sure that happens as soon as we put a cell. See, I was at first wondering about, sorry, when the game starts. This is in Somalia, but it's not tested. And I think I looked, but in the setup instructions, it just says put a besieged regime marker in Somalia. I wonder if it'd be under the rules for test, wouldn't it? I mean, well, hang on. Does it not just tell you initial test here? Yeah. Initial test. Find governance posture of an unmarked country when any operation, cell placement, or test targets a country with a blank governance or posture. So this is happening because we're placing a cell in the United Kingdom. So we are going to have to test it. Targets any operation, cell placement, or test. So that maybe didn't apply to that then, did it? Well, we've left it blank. Nobody said anything. And the reason this one's marked is because it specifically said on the event, test Yemen, move it to adversary and place a besieged regime. I want to say. I think that's how it went down. Okay, so place a cell in the United Kingdom. Right, and this is where things could get bad for us, because if their posture's soft, and they've got the Rec 3 as well. So if they want to add cells, hold on, we don't have a cell. We don't have a cell on the track. Let's forget about that. What do we do there then? Let's just double check the event table first, just in case there's any there. There is not any for card 66. So what do we do when there's no cells on the track? I want to say I came across something on BGG regarding that, somebody asking that question, and I never looked at the answer, so I was looking for something else. Right, hang on. Oh, I've just came across, I think, my answer to my question. So this is Awakening Rules under the Jadis bot, page 7. It says, recruiting or placing cells. When an event instructs to recruit, place, or replace cells or cadres, the jihadist bot uses the recruit and travel to priorities of the operations priorities op flowchart to select the country. Exception. Wait, hang on, but that's using. It uses the recruit and travel to priorities of the operations priorities. So this is the recruit and travel to select the country. Well, when you go through this, you come down to this, don't you? And this is what I was saying about the recruit and travel to, recruit travel to priorities table. So maybe that's right, that cell might not be in Iran then. It might well be in Iraq. Hang on, what was this exception? It says exception if also placing plots use 12.3.4 instructions. No, it's not that. When performing a recruit, if the number of available ops and reserves, see the number of avails. When performing a recruit operation, well, it's not doing that. If the number of available cells on the track, the jihadist rolls a number. still not seeing. I suppose I'm trying to look at two different things now. There must be a bit that tells you about if you've not got any cells left. But I suppose why we struck this, because that event was place a cell in Iran. No, place a cell in Iraq or Iran, and I randomised it. But it's saying there when an event instructs to recruit, place. That's what we done. It said place a cell. Let me get the card. Oh, did it get removed? I get that, didn't it? That's the last one that got removed. Ansar al-Islam. So it says place a cell in Iraq or Iran. And that says that when you're looking at to do place, an event instructs you to recruit, place, or replace cells or cadres, which is what we're doing. The jihadist bot uses the recruit and travel to priorities of the operations priorities op flowchart to select the country. Well, that's that. But when I'm done with that, I've been going through these priorities on recruit. I'm going to change that then. I'm going to change that because when we go through these priorities, none of these apply, and until we get to there, which it's going to pick poor, then fair, then good. And Iraq is poor, and Iran was fair. So I'm going to shift this. I think that's just answered my question. I'll leave the question and maybe somebody come back. 3, 6, they've got 8 cells there now to our still 6 troops, but I think that covers that one actually. Right, but what about when there's no cells left then? What do we do there? I'm not finding that. You would think there might have been something here about it, but let me have another look. Just again, picking up on a rule in here again. 12.3.12, multiple possibilities. If the instructions of the event instructions table and section 12.3, which is all the stuff, in particular the bit that we just read about the cells, if they do not identify a single target country, choose randomly. It's got 9.5 there among the remaining candidates. So 9.5, random country. Yeah, I did glance over that, but it looked like it was picking random countries. Yeah, but it does say that if you can't break it down, you randomise. But that looks like that should have been broken down with that priorities table. Okay, so what about there's no cells on the track, Grant? Well, I've been hunting high and low to find some answer to this, but I think I'm overthinking it. Place a cell in the United Kingdom. The cell needs to come from the funding track. There's no cells there. So this is unplayable, I think. There was some other things going on. Yeah, I looked through quite a few threads, but I think it's as straightforward as that. We can't play the event because there's no cells. I mean, yeah, there's nothing to suggest that you can take cells off the map and move them. You know, that's a travel option. So I'm going to just go with that because I spent quite a bit of time there looking and then come back and thinking, I think I've just been silly there. And so just get your flowchart out and deal with it that way, Grant. Okay, so is it a playable non-US event? No. Is major jihad success at poor possible? No. Remember, no jihad can happen in Pakistan and the rest don't have enough cells over troops. Is funding tight? No. Is there a cell in good or fair Muslim or jihad success possible? No. Again, Pakistan it's not working because yeah, I mean that one would take you to carry out a minor jihad, which it can't do because Benazir Bhutto is employed. So that's a no. And then poor Muslims with 1 to 4 more cells than... Right, that's a no. Is funding moderate? Yes. Is there a cell available? No. So we're going to travel. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to travel. And we're going to travel to poor Muslim with 1 to 4 more cells than troops and militia. And no. No, we didn't have any cells else. Well, yeah, we had this one in Iran, but I believe that was... I'm going to take it that was wrong. And, yeah, so, no. If recruit, but that's not recruit, we're doing travel. So is there a good Muslim country? Yeah. Pakistan. I said that I would carry out other operations into Pakistan, but why is it wanting to travel more cells in there? Oh, God. I don't know. Just sort of feels like... I mean, it's not asking other questions. It's not saying jihad DRM or jihad success possible or anything like that. It's just saying you should travel to a good Muslim country. The thing is, should I say the problem is that this is a good Muslim country. It's got 6 cells in it. There's no troops in there. So in normal circumstances, it would be doing a major jihad. And okay, if it didn't have 5 cells, even if it had 4 cells, it would be doing a minor jihad. It wouldn't need any more cells. So now but now this is wanting to travel 2 cells to there. They're not going to come from Afghanistan because it's only got 1 cell left and it needs to keep that there. So it's going to be an attempt to travel from Iraq to Pakistan, and in fact it would use its reserves to try and travel 3 cells from Iraq to Pakistan. And yeah, this dilemma is getting even more complex now, I think, because of this situation. Because I mean, I suppose you've got to look at... I mean, I've not played this game as a 2-player game, you know. So let's think about it from a 2-player perspective. Why would you want to put 2 more cells into Pakistan right now when there's 6 cells there? There's no troops. There's no disrupt available. But there's no jihad available. So it sort of feels like you should step in and override this. Yeah. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. This part at the end of this part is just... I've used up all my time looking up things that I probably didn't need to look up, and now I've come down to this and I'm like stuck thinking, what do I do here? Yeah, so I'm in a bit of a dilemma now, I think. I didn't really think this game... I thought this game had a pretty solid solo set of rules. I mean, I'm not saying they're not solid here, but what I mean is I've never been one to step in and have to make a decision for myself. And, you know, any of you watched my stuff before, I cringe at trying to sort of say, well, this is the best play here, or rule 42 it, or whatever. But I don't know what to do. I feel like this is a daft move for the bot to make. it could turn out to be something good, but I can't see why. I mean, it's probably better if anything is probably better trying to get what we need. 5 more cells and troops and 11 cells in there. 3, 6, 7, 8. It'd probably be better travelling 3 of these into there. And it could at least attempt that. It's not adjacent, so it could at least attempt that. I think if you were sitting in the bot right now, and then it's got 5 more cells and troops, and could have a go at a major jihad, But travelling troops into here at the moment doesn't really make much sense to me. I don't like having that thought in my head about, I want the rules to guide me there, but some of these certain events and games, things like this, this is an event that has happened. I just wonder if there's any more talk. I'm sure I'd search for the event. I suppose I could have a little glance at that. We did check the event in the events table, didn't we? Benazir Bhutto, I don't know what card number it is now. Well, it's not jumping out of me there. Anyway. I'm pretty sure I would have searched for that the very first time I had a look for things regarding that. What am I? I'm at 47 minutes, so we're in the process of just carrying out the first jihadist card play, which seems to be causing us all sorts of trouble. But I think it was a daft, simple sort of, look, there's no cells there. This is an unplayable event, Grant. Just move on to there and use it for the ops, which is fine, But where it's taking me to is wanting to travel cells to Pakistan. And yeah, if we keep going with the rules as literally read, In fact, I came across the designer's comment about some reply to some comment saying that the rules are written literally, So, it's not taken into account this event, because the game can only do so much. When it comes to AI stuff and bots and whatever, there's only so much you can do. There's 120 cards in this deck, and to be able to deal with this event being in play and what the bot should do, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Well, if I'm missing something, then point me to it, please. I mean, if somebody was to tell me, well, it tells you there, if Benazir Bhutto is in play, blah blah blah. But I think I would have got a reply to that on my question on BGG, to be honest. But right, well, I'm running out of time here anyway, so I'm going to do some more searching and maybe some more questions out there on BGG. Thing is, I've probably got a chance to have a little shot tomorrow afternoon as well. So when I get a chance, what I don't want to do is sit down and not be able to do anything because I'm still not sure about things. So, well, get the questions put out there and maybe somebody will come back with you with something good. Right, okay. I'll just close out there then for the night, I think. So I think this part's been a bit, not much happened, I think. But anyway, this was part 11, wasn't it? I think, yeah. Okay, I'll hopefully be back tomorrow and we can try and move on. And maybe somebody will help me out. Okay, cheers.